One. We are officially live. Welcome, everybody. This is Joe Apfelbaum, CEO of Ajax Union. And with me, I have the wonderful Rhonda Sher. Rhonda, welcome to the program.
Thanks, Joe. I am excited to be here with you.
So, I'm going to be interviewing Rhonda about let's see, let's pull up the event. Here's the event. This is the event. Where's the event cover? I
No,
had
the
to read.
event the event happened. It's over. So,
The event happened.
what which event are you talking about?
This is the event that we're on right now. We're on LinkedIn Live.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely, yeah.
But yeah, so the topic of this event is the thought leader, joined LinkedIn experts, Rhonda, Sher, and Joe Apfelbaum for an interactive LinkedIn live session on how to optimize your LinkedIn profile. But I was telling Rhonda a minute ago was that, Rhonda, did you know that I created my own little Google Chrome extension this weekend? And she's like, what? And I was like, yeah, check this out. So if I go onto your profile, okay, I'm on your profile right now, and I click on this little L up here, and I click on Save Profile, what it's going to do is it's going to scrape your entire profile, put all the information down over here, and then it even includes like every single thing on your profile, right? It just copied everything into a big blob, just like that. And then it includes when we connected, your birthday, your phone number. It literally has everything you could think of over here. Then I can press copy if I want. So I copy all the data to my clipboard and I can do whatever I want with it. Or I can hit send to CRM and it sends it to my CRM and it puts it into my phone. But it doesn't just send it to my CRM. What it does is and this is a dashboard I'm creating for somebody. What it does is, if I go into Save Profiles from Google Chrome, it actually will write, over here on line 29, it'll write, meet Rhonda Sher. She's a LinkedIn trainer and coach for the Sher method. Her LinkedIn is da-da-da-da. Rhonda teaches blah, blah, blah. Basically has a whole blurb about who you teach, who you help, how you help them, and it organizes everything, where you're from, your location, your approximate age, your gender, everything you can think of about you, how many connections you have, how many followers you have, if you're paying for LinkedIn Premium. It like breaks down so much information, and I'm going to be teaching you how to create your own in the AI circle that you are part of. So thank you for being part of that. Thank you for being a big advocate of mine. Getting your name into a spreadsheet like this in seconds by just pushing a button on LinkedIn is transformational. And then I was telling you right before the call about this Miro boards that I've been using these Miro boards. I'm going to show you how to use artificial intelligence on Monday to be able to build out an unlimited amount of content with a combination of Miro boards. And the other thing I wanted to show you, Rhonda, and we're going to be covering some of this here today. But the other thing I wanted to show you is, first of all, I have this incredible brainstorming agent that I want you to have a conversation with. Her name is Ava. Did you hear about her?
Is Eva your AI assistant?
Yeah, so Ava can brainstorm content ideas with you in just seconds. I posted about her recently, and I'll be showing that to you and breaking it down. But you asked me to ask you a particular list of questions. So I know you have an interesting story about how you use LinkedIn to retire your husband. Can you share that story with the audience now?
Yeah, so it's actually kind of a funny story. When I got married, I was pretty young, and my husband said to me, now remember, I have two daughters that are 32 and 34, okay? And if anybody ever said that to them, I would tell them to run, not walk. But he said, I have one request. I said, what's that? He said, please don't make more money than me. And the part of that that's really funny is that back in the day when my parents were married and alive, right, my father didn't want my mother working because to him that meant that he couldn't support the family. So fast forward, we have two children. We were married for 28 years. And after 28 years, life just kind of took a U-turn or a wrong turn. And Bob and I amicably divorced. But in addition to the fact that we amicably divorced, at that very same time, my mom passed away. I had a cancer scare, and we short sold our house. So, and the kids were empty nesting. All of this within a period of 3 months. And I thought, oh my gosh. And nobody was hiring speakers and trainers, and that was what I was doing. And I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to be one of those supermarket greeters. That's going to be me. But I remembered that I had a superpower. I had written several books. I knew how to use LinkedIn. So I went out and I got my life insurance license. And I realized that I would never have to worry about finding clients because The people that had my clients were on LinkedIn. So I went to the mortgage people, basically created a relationship, and asked them to introduce me to their clients so that I could sell them life insurance, because I was selling the kind of life insurance that didn't die before the person did. Anyway, within the first 6 weeks, I was making about $6,000 a month. By the end of that year, I was doing six figures. And fast forward to 2016, which was about 6 years after Bob and I divorced, we got back together again. And when we decided to get remarried, he said, I have one request. And I said, what's that? And he said, please make more money than me. Well, Joe, believe it or not, using LinkedIn, because I stopped selling life insurance, I realized that that wasn't something I liked. And you'll find this very interesting, Joe, because I know you're part of the Wisdom Unlimited course through Landmark. It was through the Wisdom course that we reconnected. And I was able to, he was a Western area general manager for the second largest envelope company in the country. And I was able to allow him to retire, replace his income. And now we live 3 blocks from the beach in Carlsbad. He does all my Zooms. And I like to say I have a husband, didn't have to change my name, and the kids are ours. So in your words, Joe, boom, there you go. And I gave birth to the Sher method. Yeah,
okay. So that's a crazy story. Getting divorced, getting remarried, going through the process, retiring your husband because of LinkedIn. All that is just so phenomenal. And guys, if you're watching this live, go ahead, leave a like, give it a like, leave a comment. Let me know if you have any questions or where you're dialing in from. If you're watching the replay, write replay. And if you see that repost button, I don't know if Rhonda, if you can see the repost button, but if you do see the repost button on LinkedIn, whether through your phone or on the computer, just hit that repost button so more people can watch this. Now, you mentioned the Sher method. Could you elaborate on what the Sher method involved? Because it sounds like an interesting, innovative program that you have, and I know a lot of people have been put on the Sher method, and the people that you have been using you absolutely love you and absolutely love your method. So can you share a little more details about it, please?
Yeah, I'd love to. So there's 3 simple steps. The first one is 3 P's. The first one is position. How are you showing up on LinkedIn? There are so many people on LinkedIn that are awesome, incredible professionals. And Joe, you know this because you're a LinkedIn wizard, right? And yet, I like to say that a lot of these people are in what I call the LinkedIn Witness Protection Program. Nobody could ever find them. So the first part is positioning, making sure that you're positioned as the only logical choice for the product or service that you offer. The second P is prospect, and that's anything and everything from sending somebody a happy birthday message, congratulations on your new job, and then responding, or reconnecting with your first level connections, or my favorite, which is the fun part, especially when you use your amazing tool, Evie, is reaching out to the people that like and comment on your post, or that reaching out to somebody, for example, like you post all the time, you post amazing stuff.
Definitely.
If I didn't know you, Joe, and we weren't connected, I would follow you. And then I might just send you a message through Sales Navigator that says, hey, Joe, I love the post you did about XYZ, about Evie and all the cool stuff that it does. When it makes sense for us to connect, I think my audience would love to know more about your Evie AI tool, right? So again, it's just about reaching out. So, and then the last part, obviously, with the prospecting is using Sales Nav. And Sales Nav is a gold mine because it actually tells you who's posted in the last 90 days, along with a bunch of other really cool stuff. So that's the second step. And the third step is profit. So I don't know if you know this about me, Joe, but I have a black belt in shopping. And, but my favorite designer is clearance. So there you go, right? But here's the truth, right? Where energy goes, money flows. And so I love that, because what I love being able to do is share some of the tips, tricks, and some of the ones that I've learned from you. Because you know what? As you say, Joe, right? Those who pay attention, right? Or did I get that right?
Yeah, you got it
right. People who pay attention. And so I'm constantly investing with other people so I can keep learning, and investing in the tools and the coaches and the people that are going to elevate me. So what I have found is that I really show people how they can never, ever have to suffer from an empty calendar. Because I think that's a horrible thing to not have people to talk to. And you can do it in a variety of ways. If you're, somebody who just doesn't want to give that direct approach, stay away from Sales Navigator. Do it a little softer. Prospect with just getting appointments. And so that's really the 3 steps. It's position, prospect, profit. And then you just get to smile all the way to the bank while you're helping a whole lot of people and you're sharing your gifts with the world on LinkedIn.
I love that. I love that so much. There's so many amazing things that you can do on LinkedIn, and you mentioned a whole bunch of them just now. Could you share some of your favorite success stories from clients that you've worked with? I know you've worked with so many people. I'm sure you have a few success stories to share. And by the way, if you guys are watching this live, make sure to give the post a like. Hit that reshare button, and in the comments below, let us know who is your ideal client. We'd love to hear from you. Post that in the comments so you can network with other people. I do see we have Steve in the comments from our Engaged Thought Leaders community. Thank you, Steve. I also see Rick in the comments, and I see some familiar faces. So guys, keep commenting and asking Rhonda questions. I see some of our users, some of our listeners are saying, Rhonda, interesting story. I love it. Thank you so much. So what I want to hear from you, Rhonda, is tell us, what are some success stories that you've recently experienced?
So one of them was actually a woman who was referred to me, believe it or not, by a recruiter who was not a client, but just somebody that I know through networking. And I know, Joe, you're a huge networker. And this woman had been with a cruise company for 35 years. And they had given her an amazing retirement package. And she said, I don't want to retire. I want to be an executive coach. And I said, I don't think you're going to get hired as an executive coach. You've had one job for 35 years. Pre-pandemic, pandemic, and post-pandemic. So I went through an entire session with her, and what I found out was that she still loved the cruise industry. So I repositioned her on LinkedIn as a fractional chief commercial officer, redid her profile, did a lot of coaching with her, and basically we figured out that there were companies out there that had small cruise divisions that would love to hire somebody with her talent. So we made her a fractional. Well, Joe, within the first 2 months, she is now fully booked off to Japan, doesn't even have time to talk to me, and is making more money than she ever imagined, doing exactly what she loves, simply by using LinkedIn and reaching out when she had her optimized profile. So it really was position, prospect, profit on the high seas in Japan. You can't beat that one, right?
Wow, that's incredible. So, if somebody works with you, they're going to be able to position themselves properly. They're going to be able to prospect like a king, and they'll be able to profit because your system just works and you have the evidence to prove that it actually works. Rhonda's a member of our Engaged Thought Leaders community, and every single day we have a team of engagement specialists that come in and they check to see who posted, and then they give us a list of people who posted so that we can engage on their post. If you want to be part of this type of group, just write ETL in the comments and I'll send you details how you can apply to join this type of group. We have some incredible doctors and consultants and thought leaders and PR specialists in the group. And as you can see, when people post, then the group goes ahead and leaves a comment to support the people and make a difference for them. So my question I have is, besides Evie AI, the AI for LinkedIn that you mentioned earlier, the LinkedIn assistant that helps you leave comments and write posts and save profiles and do all that stuff, what other tools do you recommend that your clients use on LinkedIn?
One of my favorites, and I've just started using this with tremendous success, Joe, is actually DUBB video. And what I have found by sending a dub video because it has a direct correlation with LinkedIn, unlike Loom, which then takes you to another place, people really respond to the videos. So I would basically, do a video that say, hey, Joe, this is Rhonda. I just want you to put a face to the name. I'm not selling anything. I just want to say thank you. It meant the world to me that you actually commented on my post today. I love the fact that we align on XYZ. Would it make sense for us to jump on a call and see how we can support each other further? There might be resources we can share. And sometimes, Joe, I say, by the way, if you're looking to really put your commenting and your posts on steroids, I know I use an amazing tool and I'd be happy to share it with you. So I don't tell it to them right there. I want them to respond so then I can give them the affiliate link, right, to Evie. So it's really cool.
So like this guy over here, Ruben, he sent me a link. He said, thanks again for being on the podcast. You'd be willing to give podcast a review. Here's the link to the podcast, dub.com/clapple. So this is the CEO of Dub that has had me on his podcast. Oh my God, I was on the Dub podcast?
Whoa! All right, you're my hero.
I didn't even know I was on the Dub podcast because I'm looking. I just searched Dub to try to find an example Dub video. Can you DM me an example Dub video so I could pull it up now for the audience if you have one handy? Like in your DM, something that you could send me.
I do, but I don't want to break up the flow here because it might.
Okay. It might throw off the whole thing. Okay, cool. So it's DUBB. That's awesome. Okay, so if anybody wants it, check out the comments of this video. Rhonda's going to put a link to the comments of this video so you guys can kind of check that out. I do have another question for you. You mentioned Dub as a tool. You mentioned Evie AI. I know you have a masterclass coming up for real estate professionals. Where can people find out information about this masterclass? Is it on your profile somewhere?
Well, actually, the masterclass is ongoing, but what I am going to be launching is a class called From Overlooked to Fully Booked, and that's going to start in October. So it's not just real estate professionals, it's really any service professional, coaches, speakers, authors.
Where do people find out about this on your profile? If somebody wants to find out about Overlooked, it's coming.
So it's going to be added. It's going to be added, but here's a cool hack, which I think many people don't know. So if I add that as a new section on my profile, people are going to think I have a new job, right? But I don't. I'm just adding a new course. And so when people send me a congratulations message that I have a new job, which is my course From Overlooked to Fully Booked, which will be launching in October, guess what happens? I'll say, thank you so much, but it's not a new job. It's actually a new course. I'd love to send you information if you'd like to check it out, because there's a webinar on it. And I have a client that generated 300 leads just by doing that one little hack on his profile.
Wow,
putting a class
that's such a great hack. Guys, if you want more hacks, write hacks in the chat. We're going to send you guys some hacks after. We do have a lot of hacks for you guys. But this is a really, really great thing. Like, one of the things that I say, Rhonda, is LinkedIn notified me that you have a new role. I might be wrong, but just in case, congrats on your new role. And I have a tool called a bot that will go out and send this every single day to all the people that have a new job. I don't know if you know this, but LinkedIn doesn't want people to use bots. Okay, that's their policy. Don't use bots. But if your bot is a human, like for example, my bot behaves like a human and doesn't spam anybody, and it literally just goes to the catch-up section of LinkedIn, it goes to the job changes, and as a human, it just checks to see who has congratulations on a new role, and it sends them a very casual, non-spammy, nice little message that says, hey, congrats on your new role. Not sure if that's actually legit, but in case it is, congrats, or something like that. Very natural. Most people will just say, congrats on your new role, but they won't take the time to say, hey, just in case it's not, whatever. So it's a really great hack that you put together. And are you going to be teaching these types of hacks to people inside your program?
I am. And I want to know about the bot, because what I do is I use Evie to let me know when somebody has that. And then I go to my good friend ChatGPT, if it's a birthday, for example, and every month I ask ChatGPT to write me a cool happy birthday message for that month. So if you're an August birthday, you're going to get a really cool poem about having your August birthday. But here's one of the things that I've done, Joe, under the P of prospect, right? I put a PS, and it says, as my birthday gift to you, if you'd like, I'd be happy to offer you a LinkedIn profile audit. No charge and no sales pitch. Let me know if you'd like it, and I will send you a link to my calendar. And sometimes what I'll say is, if you think this is a sales pitch, I'll even buy you coffee as my birthday gift. Or pizza or whatever. So they know I'm not going to sell them. And about 1 out of 5 people that I make that offer to actually book the profile audit. And a good number of those end up becoming my clients, which is kind of fun.
Wow. That's incredible. When it comes to optimizing people's profiles, What would you say is the most important thing? Like I shared earlier that I prepared a little, if somebody's like, Joe, hey, can you do a presentation on how to optimize your profile? I said there are 20 different elements. We got to go through them one by one. These are the 20 elements, but what would you say is the most important element from all the different elements that you could have, whether it's your photo, your banner, your contact information, your pronoun, your headline, your company, your education, your CTA, your customized URL, your pronunciation, your about section, your summary, your services, your featured, your activity, your skills, your sections, your experience, your languages, your dashboard, your recommendations, all that stuff. There's so much to go. And that's why people need to hire you to kind of put it together for them. But what would you say is the most important part of the profile right now?
Right now, I'd say it's the headline, because that's
Okay.
where, if you don't put one there, LinkedIn's going to put your job title. So, if you catch them at hello and you have that headline, now obviously you want to make sure you have a photo and you want to make sure that you have a banner. But I really believe that it's the headline, because we all have short attention spans. So when you see that, especially if you're on a mobile device, that's what you're going to look at. So in my opinion, the headline is really, really critical.
What
And
would you
it should never use the word help. I hate that word.
Okay, so what are your 3 tips for a headline?
Number one, what do you deliver? What's the end result that you deliver? Okay. Number two, what makes you different, right? Is it 25 years experience? What is that? And then the third part of that, and this is one that I've just been playing with, is put something unique about you. So on mine, it says crossword puzzle addict. And I get asked about that all the time. I have done 2 crossword puzzles in ink ever since I can remember as a kid. And so people always ask about that. And again, that's not related to anything that I do, in my business here
Can
with
we
the
call
Sher
that
method.
can we call that bait?
I love that. Yes. Not clickbait, but bait. Yes, because people
Yeah.
ask about that. There you
Yeah.
go.
Wow. So what do
So
you
you're the
do?
expert. What do you think, Joe? Let's
No.
get your opinion.
Oh my God, I love that. So I agree with you. The benefit is definitely benefit statement. How you make a difference. Like what makes you a difference. I'm going to say advantage.
I
Like
like
because
that.
it comes from a competitive advantage. And I'll put advantage first because it's an A. Just your advantage, your competitive advantage, the benefit they get. Benefit statement, and then you put some baity stuff in there that'll make them want to ask you more questions. For me, I like saying I like stating the avatar. So for me, I like saying who do you help and how do you help them. That's like my thing. Like I always want to say, who do you help and how do you help them? That's like what I always want to say, who do you help and how do you help them? The reason I want to do that is because I want to make sure that I am actually making it clear that I work with you. Like I work with coaches and consultants. I work with sales professionals. Like those are the people, engaged LinkedIn users. If that's you, I want to work with you. And so I want them to know that it's risky because job seekers might come to my profile and realize, hey, this guy's not for me. But that's okay because if you're not polarizing, it's not going to work. And the other thing I like to do is like, what is your keyword? I mean, your
I was
headline
just going to
ranks on
say that.
Google.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah, tell me
keywords are
more.
critical.
Yeah, tell me
So the
more.
keywords, well, keywords are really critical because it needs to appear about 7 times in your profile for it to catch the attention of Google. Isn't that correct?
I think it needs to show up in your profile. It does. It's not. There's not a specific amount of times, but if you want to say 7, you can say 7. The 7 number is about how many comments, how many words in the comment you need to include in order for the comment to be able to show up in the feed. So if you just write "great post," it's not going to show up in the feed. But if you write, "Hey Rhonda, that post was fascinating. I love the way you had flair in it," that is going to show up in the feed. That's the 7 thing on LinkedIn. But in terms of like SEO, the more you talk about your keyword and your keyword phrase, the more likely you are to rank. A lot of people don't include their company name in their headline. I think that's a big mistake. I think that from a branding perspective, it's really important to include your company name or your product name or something in your headline because people will see your first name, your last name, and your headline. Like if you go on LinkedIn, I don't know if you know this, but if you go to LinkedIn, you see first name, last name, and headline. So if somebody says, I help people do X, Y, and Z, they're not branding their company. Like I want people to know that I'm the CEO of Ajax Union. I want people to know that this is who I am, CEO of Ajax Union. I'm a CEO. I want to rank for that. I want to say Ajax Union. I want to put my number one keyword on here, B2B marketing, AI, LinkedIn, business development training, networking, author, speaker, connector. You see, like, and single father would be the unique thing that I put there. People ask me,
Right.
single father, what happened there? And so really stating who you help. I help CEOs. Really stating how you help them, like what you do, AI training, LinkedIn training, business development training, whatever. And then your benefit, and then your company, like all those, you put those things together, you're going to totally rock out on LinkedIn. I'm going to take a look at yours right now. But I would say Rhonda for sure. The headline is such a huge thing. And actually, as a matter of fact, you write LinkedIn trainer and coach. You see, you don't write anything about the Sher method, which I think might be a little bit of a mistake if the Sher method is your thing and you want to talk a lot about it. But because your last name is your company name, I don't think you need to put it in there because it's so connected to it. You're not looking to build a brand. You're really looking to build your personal brand. So I think that's fine. And I love these little dots over here. It really stands out. I love that you mentioned your avatar, coaches, entrepreneurs, attorneys. You didn't mention anything about real estate here, which, like if real estate is your thing, I don't mind changing my headline every 90 days to include different avatars depending on who I'm targeting. So that's something that I say a lot of people are overlooked. And here's the other thing. I have this whole mind map that basically takes every little aspect of your profile, and I keep building it bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. You see, I'm a big fan of this. And recently, what I decided to do, I'm going to pull this out like this, and I'm going to zoom into this, is create something called the Ultimate LinkedIn Playbook Mega Prompt, where every part of LinkedIn has a prompt associated to it to be able to do something like, for example, profile optimization, post topics, because I want to put all this into EVAI, and so I'm building out mega prompts for every single section of your profile. And I thought of creating a headline generator for people. So if you want that headline generator, just write headline generator in the chat, and I'm going to make that headline generator prompt available to you guys. But as you can see, I have so many. So here's the headline generator. This is what I have so far. Developed a blah, blah, blah. But this is just the seed of the headline generator. I'm actually going to include some of the tips that you gave and some of the tips that I gave into there because there's unique selling proposition, tips, key selling points, things that would show up for LinkedIn's algorithm. And so I want to be able to do this. So let's try this out. Should we test this out in ChatGPT right now?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's test this out. Guys, if you're enjoying this, say I'm loving this. What I'm going to first do is I'm going to first grab your profile information. Do you remember how I did that last time? I used my Chrome extension. I pressed Save Profile. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit copy. So I have the profile copied over here. It's ready to go. So I'm going to first take I'm going to write a prompt. I'm going to write one of my mega prompts that basically makes sense out of your. I'm going to write a mega prompt right here. Create a LinkedIn strategy. No. I have one over here that's related to your act as a LinkedIn expert profile writer. Let's see. I have one over here related to profile presentation, okay? So I'm going to have it take and make a profile presentation out of your profile right now. So out of your profile data, because I collected all your profile data already, right? So this is all your profile.
Yeah.
So first I'm going to create a presentation about your profile. So Rhonda Sher is a LinkedIn trainer, a coach who specializes in taking professionals from overlooked to fully booked on LinkedIn. She works with attorneys, entrepreneurs, coaches, professionals, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Right? Optimize your LinkedIn profile, generate leads, develop effective strategies, and blah, blah, blah. So this is how I would introduce you to the world. Here's some key information about you personally. Here's your profile summary. Here's some education about you. Here's your professional memberships that you're part of. Your network information, including how many followers, wow, we have 1,200 mutual connections. That's epic. Well, this is when we connected, actually. This is our profile. This is your company. This is the services that you provide. Here's some notable facts about you. NLP, blah, blah, blah. Guests on over 100 podcasts, given over 1,000 talks. And these are networking questions. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my prompt. Remember this prompt that we have here? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, develop a prompt that generates 10 unique based on Rhonda's profile. Key skills and unique value proposition. So let's see what it does. And then we're going to improve the prompt. So this is, version 1 of the prompt. But look at how many profile optimization tips it's giving you right over here and the examples that it's going to start throwing from that little prompt. But it was only because I prepped it with your profile initially. Isn't that cool that I'm able to do that?
That is super cool.
And then I'm going to run it through. So if you guys want the generator, just write headline generator. I'm going to actually improve it to include some of the advantage, the benefit, the bait, the who, the how, the keyword, the company name, and all that stuff to it. So this is how I think. And if you guys want to join our next AI session, we have a 3-hour class on Monday. Just write AI Circle in the chat, and we will send you details about this, the AI Circle that Rhonda's in, where we meet once a month for 3 hours and we go deep into using artificial intelligence to grow your business. Rhonda, this has been a pleasure. Any final words that you have for the audience before we finish up and close out?
No, I just think it's awesome, and definitely join the AI Circle because it is really the best 3 hours of my month with you. And the people that are attracted and that come into that, because it really is a community, Joe. So, so much that there is to learn. You never stop learning, and LinkedIn never stops changing, right?
Awesome, awesome. I really appreciate you. Looking forward to making clips out of this. I'm going to send this to artificial intelligence as soon as we're done, and we're going to make little clips that we can share on LinkedIn. Thank you very much for watching this, Rhonda. Everybody else that's here, let us know what your biggest takeaway was. What did you gain out of this presentation? Was it valuable? And if it was valuable, please make sure to reach out to Rhonda and hire her to help you with your LinkedIn. Find out more information about her. Make sure that you like this video. Make sure that you repost it so more people can find it. And of course, let us know what you do for a living in the comments. Shameless self-promotion is always welcome in my circle because I love to help people grow their business. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you, Rhonda, for being here. And